John Clark, how you feeling today, Johnny? Happy New Year to you.
Hola. Hola.
That's awesome. All right, so John, listen, you've been around the squad, and this has been a topic that we've hammered into the ground, and now the answer has come out. No Saquon playing in this game. He had some comments. The coach had some comments. The prudent people say it's the right thing to do. I would have liked to see him set that record, being 101 yards around. But from the team perspective, what do you think they're feeling about this?
Yeah, Mike, I agree with you. I would have loved to have seen it. But when you're the head coach in charge of a team, and then Jeff Lurie and Howie Roseman and the Eagles, they have a history of resting the starters when there's no chance you can improve your seeding. If you look at getting these guys ready for the possibility of winning 4 games, which is what you need to do to win the Super Bowl, Saquon Barkley has 378 touches right now, most in the NFL, and the Eagles starters have been playing for 12 straight weeks. So if you want to win a Super Bowl, that's 17 straight weeks unless they get a week of rest. So to me, when you look at the team, would you put them out there and then there's a possibility, what if Saquon got a concussion like Jalen Hurts got, or Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata gets injured? So I do think in the end they made the right decision. It stinks. You want to see Saquon's name with one of the great records in sports. So it stinks, but I do think they made the right call.
Yeah, I hate it. And I hate the what-ifs. Yeah, it's like, Aaron Nola, he's made 212 innings this year. He hasn't thrown more than 212 innings ever. Well, the difference between Aaron Nola and Saquon Barkley is one guy squats 1,000 pounds. The other can't lift 2 bagels with a breadstick. So I'm talking about a hardy athlete here who can handle that kind of a workload. This is an all-time record. Johnny's 101 yards away.
I hear you, Mike, but, in the last game, as soon as they got the 2,000 rushing yards, Saquon was taken out right away. They honestly probably could have ran him 5 or 6 more times, and let's say he has 30, 40 yards at the very end of that game or something like that. Then you're even closer. So I think that message was sent when they took him right out after 2,000 rushing yards. Hey, man, I get it. I would love to see it. But, I think having the early bye so early in the season, you want to make sure any of the bruises or little issues that anybody has, you want to make sure they're healthy, rested. And I texted a Super Bowl winning coach, and I'm like, what would you do? He's like, you cannot risk injury. You have a chance to win the Super Bowl. So it's more about everybody else as well as Saquon, that you can't risk any of your great linemen getting hurt. Because if any of your linemen get hurt, that reduces your chance of winning the Super Bowl.
I'm with you, John. Yeah. I agree with you on this one.
You're with Bill and you're with Ray today, and I'm exhausted. We had Brian Westbrook on today. Guess what his opinion was?
Oh, come on. Every player is going to want to go for it.
Not every player. A player who understands the ramifications of an all-time record. Like, if he was 150 yards away, you wouldn't hear me say that today. He's 101 yards away. If you're that close, you just owe it to the guy, and you'll owe it to the city. This is a record that you can always say, and my guy set the all-time rushing record. It's important for everybody here.
I don't disagree, but let's say somebody gets hurt. What would everybody be saying?
But you can't worry about whether someone would get hurt, and that's what Westbrook is saying. Because we go out and play, we can get hurt at any particular time. You can't base a decision based. Well, suppose he gets hurt. That's a flimsy rationale.
Yeah, but that's what like Andy Reid has done his entire career. When there's a chance to rest, you don't risk injury. You get the guys off their feet so that they're fresh and ready, so that they're not playing 17 straight weeks of football. Look, it stinks. It sucks.
The circumstances, but my point is, the circumstances for this are different. You're looking at a general rule. Yeah, a general rule says, rest them. You give them a bye week, it's beneficial for the team. But you're nobody, and Bill or Ray or you, putting in the equation that this is an all-time record. The circumstances are different.
I hear you, but talking to other coaches who have been in this spot, maybe not as an incredible record as this, but they say you gotta sit them, because The goal of the team is to win 4 more games, and this helps your chances because sorry, almost just got into an accident. This helps your chances because, Mike, 17 straight weeks of football is a very hard thing on the body, especially when you're running the ball and offensive linemen are moving people. And Saquon probably doesn't get hit as much as other running backs, but he's got a lot of touches, Mike, 378 touches. You're looking at the possibility of 500 touches to win a Super Bowl with Saquon.
Let me ask you a question. Have there been teams that have won the Super Bowl having to play through 17 straight games? Like, did any team that win a Super Bowl always have the luxury of taking the last week of the regular season off, or did they have to just keep going and keep playing? And, oh, my God, they won the Super Bowl. They actually had to play week 17, and they still won the Super Bowl.
Well, John, I'll answer this for you. No team's done it in the last 15 years. No team has done that in the last 15 years. Played 17 straight games, I don't believe. Because you look at all these numbers, I told you, the last 15 Super Bowl winners, you haven't had one that had a bye week sooner than week 7.
You know what I say to that?
There you go.
Hola.
There you go.
Hola. That's what I say to that.
Hola. Hey, don't get upset since you're outnumbered here.
I am not outnumbered. I got number 36 on my side, baby. I'll take him to war anytime over you schlubs.
Hey, every player is going to want to go for it, but every coach or most coaches would probably say no. And by the way, look, I mean, when Nick Sirianni says he spoke to Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, it has kind of been an organizational thing. Andy Reid, Doug Peterson, in these situations when you can get a week of rest, you do it. And look, I think Saquon has been unbelievable. The way he answers questions, he has answered every single question the best way you possibly could. It's unbelievable how great of a teammate he is. And I'm sure he wants to go for it. I'm sure some of the linemen do it. Now, Lane Johnson, he's kind of saying the same thing. It's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want to tempt the football gods going out there.
Tempt the football gods. Come on.
Oh, man. Well, hey, look.
My Lotta and Juergens are saying the opposite. They want to play. They want to go for it.
But John,
players want to go for it.
Yeah, but what would you expect them? What would you expect them to say? Like, if I'm sitting here next to Mike and he's a friend, he's a coworker, and he had an opportunity to do something, of course I'm going to say, yeah, let's do it. I'm not going to want to step in the way and say, no. I don't want you to accomplish this goal. Like, of course they're going to say it.
Exactly.
All right,
exactly.
Johnny. Let me look ahead to the playoff situation here, and you can pretty much. I don't know. It could change, but either Minnesota or Detroit gets the number 1 seed. So let's just say Detroit wins that game. So now Minnesota has to go to Tampa Bay. Washington has to go to the L.A. Rams. And the Green Bay Packers have to come here. And they would be a slim 3-point underdog in Philly. How you feeling about this Packer team in the first round against the Eagles?
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, that's the other factor in this equation. When you stare at the possibility of having to go through the entire NFC North with an 11 or 12 win 7 seed and then a 14 or 15 win Lions and Vikings teams, if you have to go through those 3 teams just to get to play the Bills or the Ravens or the Chiefs, that's a real tough task. So that's another thing you're looking at. You're like, let's get everybody completely healthy. I'm not as concerned about the Packers as I would be the Commanders because I think Jaden Daniels is much more of have a chance to have a really amazing game and win it with his legs and his arms. We've seen him come back multiple times in his rookie year. So I'm not as concerned with the Packers. They have an injury with Jair Alexander. I think they have the more talent than Washington, and I think it would be a tough game. But I tell you, Washington concerns me more than the Packers because of the X factor of Jaden Daniels.
All right, well, we got 2 Packers people here. Bill and Ray both fear the Packers here.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're a very good overall team, and I don't know if there has ever been an 11 or 12 win 7 seed. So the Eagles might have the toughest matchup as far as having to face the Packers. And look, they got a great running game with Jacobs and Jordan Love. Jordan Love is I don't think Jordan Love has that X factor potential in a game like Jaden Daniels. We've seen Jaden Daniels come back 3 times, lead his team back with incredible fourth quarters, and make some game-winning plays in his rookie year. So I think Jaden Daniels is rolling right now.
All right. We shall
who
see.
Who concerns you more?
The Packers. Yeah, there's no way the Commanders come here and have a big enough game to beat the Eagles. But the Packers are a little different. So
it's not as easy to play a team 3 times, though, when you know each other so well, and they've seen a lot of what they bring defensively and scheme-wise and stuff like that. But, hey, I get it. An 11 or 12-win team coming here, that's not easy.
Always a pleasure to have you, brother. So your sign-off would be, of course, what would it be? If Steve and I had this, there you go. Hola! Hola, Johnny. Hola to you!
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can engage during the show, and you're not going to want to miss all the content that we post. It's not only the live videos, it's videos after the fact. It's our shorts. It's all the content you want as a Philadelphia sports fan. Looking forward to connecting.